Kip Anderson, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I've come across your video, Cowspiracy. Please tell me what sequence of events came in your life to create this film.
Well, basically, I thought I was doing everything I could to help the environment that we've been told by the Greenpeaces and the Sierra Clubs to drive less and take short showers and this and that. And then I ran across a post about how animal agriculture, raising animals for food, was the leading cause of greenhouse gases, more than all transportation all put together. And then once I found out about that, I could not believe that I'd heard that elsewhere. And I started doing more research, and I found out that raising animals for food was the leading cause of rainforest destruction. Takes 45% of land use, the leading cause of habitat destruction, species extinction, water consumption, water pollution, and the list goes on. And then the shocking factor, again, was that I go onto the environmental groups' websites, Amazon Watch, even Rainforest Action Network, all these groups, and this information is nowhere on their websites. So the fun starts is when I go to these organizations and see if I can have a chat with them, discuss sustainability, and to see if they want to talk about this issue. And
the doors are closed.
The doors are closed, and it's a very different. People ask, why do they not say this? It goes from everything from ignorance to not knowing to covering it up to having people on the board of directors who it conflicts their special interests, and so there's various different reasons why it is, but it's inexcusable because all my research was doing was from Google, and those are things that you can find out easily.
In other words, you use the easiest path to find out,
yeah. And
they hadn't made that link themselves.
They hadn't made that link, and these are very solid facts and backed up heavily by multiple sources, even more so now since we've done some more re-edits, and now we have Leonardo DiCaprio came on as the executive director for a Netflix release, so we had to really solidify our sources. So when people say, oh, they're facts, this and that, it's like, aren't the facts rock solid?
Kip, were you vegetarian or vegan before you started this project?
I was. I've been vegan for around 7, almost 8 years now. So part of that film is showing what happened to me about 7 years ago. So it's a little bit of reenactment at the beginning. Me finding out it didn't happen, of course, when the camera's on me. And it looks like it happened like a year or two ago, but it actually happened a long time ago. And the one difference in the film where I say I was trying to contact these organizations for months, I was during the filming, but I've been trying to contact these organizations for about 6 years. I've been trying to contact, finding answers why they don't talk about it, and they would not give me a solid answer. Very frustrating.
Did you sense why that might have been? What was the reasonings that you felt that was the response to you?
It felt like they were covering something up because it was the responses were always very weird. Like it was never a simple answer. It seems like they had special interests, conflicting interests, that they knew this, but really when I find out, if I had to say one thing of why these organizations are doing it, a good example is this: since the making of the film, if we would have found this out, this would have been definitely in the film. We came across around a 10 to 15 page, essentially marketing research paper that researches if these organizations tell people to stop eating meat or even less consumption of animal products, will it be a win campaign? Will they gain more donors essentially? So they're more concerned about the sustainability of their own success than that of the planet. And then the conclusion was that they did not think it would be a win campaign, so let's do something else, which is just mind-blowing because they're number one, they're in business to save the planet. So it's an example. The metaphor is like someone, for example, in America, the American Lung Association, if they wouldn't have, cigarette smoking causes cancer. And that's how bad it is.
So, I'm hearing you loud and clear. I can see exactly what you're talking. So now I'm going to make a suggestion. I've been a campaigner for many years. Not all people in environmental movements are vegetarian.
Yeah.
At that point, they're holding on to an addiction and placing it in a department of their mind that they don't have to open the door and look into that. And what you're essentially saying, it seems to me, is that there's a document or how did you describe it?
Essentially, it was a marketing research
Ah.
paper. I can't remember, not marketing research, but it's something where they do a study to see if it would be a successful campaign, rather than this is what we need to do, whether it's success. You know, if you have lung cancer, the doctor has to tell you it's from smoking.
So essentially then, if we're actually concerned about the planet, there's not really a point of being a conservationist or any such thing until you get down to the very bottom rung, that animal slaughter and husbandry is our biggest karmic problem with regard to global problems.
I would say so. I would say so. And then, you know, there's an argument where, kind of like what you say, is it goes into other things as well. You know, it's about natural resources. A lot of wars are about natural resources. A lot of transportation is used to transport all this, you know, billions of pounds of grain that goes across the countries, across the world to feed these animals as well. And then the slaughtering of 70 billion animals, you know, relentlessly, that karmic, the blood that this permeates, you know, the planet, you know, how much does that permeate into everything else as well? When you just can envision where we just stop killing innocent, merciful, you know, animals that are our mercy, then maybe we have a chance to be at peace with other fellow human beings where we actually have an issue with these animals that are our mercy, you know, and if we can't protect them and look over them with, you know, peaceful, compassionate action, how can we do it amongst our fellow human beings that we actually have, you know, maybe an argument with, you know?
In other words, their purity is, that contamination is actually stopping their progress in conservation and or other things.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, we say it like this: everyone got annoyed about Cyril the lion, who was Cecil, sorry, the lion, and he was shot, and that was a disgusting thing. But in every place there's cows being annihilated at all times, and we're thinking that, oh, isn't the lion cute? Never mind about the cow.
Right, exactly.
That's hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And that lion is such a sad story. That lion had a, you know, pretty wonderful life up until that point. And, you know, these farm animals, there's no such thing as a compassionate, nonviolent slaughter, but even to that point where they get that way, it's just a horrific life. And that, yeah, you saw the hypocrisy where, of course, animal rights people loved that Cecil story because it was just, you know, glaringly obvious how, you know, while they're eating a hamburger, they're posting the Cecil, the lion post on their Facebook page.
But that's the exact hypocrisy,
Yeah.
that we've got a problem on this planet with.
Right. Yep, and these environmental groups, as you said, a lot of them, the leaders, they still are, as you say, it's an addiction, you know, it's an addiction to animal flesh and even more so the secretions, you know, there's the dairy industry. It's essentially, they have the magical casomorphine injected into cow's milk that happens to be in cow's milk around 7 more times in human breast milk. And so people are just simply addicted. And when you have them running these organizations, it's just a great, similarly as if you have a lung cancer association and all the executives are chain smoking all day long, and how can they tell someone to stop if they're doing it themselves?
Absolutely. Kip Anderson, we could talk all day long,
Yeah.
and perhaps we'll catch up when it's more convenient. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.